Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Yoga Business Bootcamp. On MBOM, I chat a lot about how it's really important for us as yoga teachers to reframe our careers in the sense of us being entrepreneurs. We are yoga entrepreneurs. We work for ourselves. For a lot of us, that's why we got into this industry. Obviously a passion for yoga as well, but also a passion for controlling your own schedule, setting up your own schedule, having freedom in your schedule. And a lot of times that means we don't have as much financial freedom because we're not getting paid 50, 60, $70,000 a year. Nobody's giving us benefits. All of that stuff kind of goes out the window. But I mean, it's an amazing, amazing life to be a yoga teacher. So today we're talking a little bit about goal setting. So something that's going to be really important for you as you head down this route of creating your dream business is kind of knowing what you want. And so I really like to set short-term goals and long-term goals. So here's my philosophy on goal setting. Goals need to be specific in the short term, especially month by month. So I usually start by looking at 1 year from now, what do I want? And then I break that down as to how I'm actually going to get there. So, for example, if I was telling myself in 1 year, I would like to own a yoga studio, what are the things that need to happen for me to own a yoga studio? Well, I need to find a space. And since I travel a lot, I don't even have a home base. So deciding where I want to own that yoga studio, what city, what town, what province, what state, what country. So where do you want that to happen? Finding a space there. What section of the city? Doing a little bit of research. How far do you want your commute to be? How much does property cost? Setting a budget for yourself. What are my current funds like? How much money am I currently making? And then thinking about all the different elements that go into a yoga studio. What type of studio do I want to run? What do I want it to look like? What's the brand? What type of teachers can I bring in? There is a list that's infinitely long of things you could think about with a yoga studio. So making that whole list and then thinking about what am I going to do each month to get me to that place? And so that's really how I like to break down 1 year goals. And sometimes it's really hard to figure out where we want to be in 1 year. Maybe it's just something like I want to have landed my first teaching gig and I want to be teaching 10 classes a week at 3 to 4 studios and have 4 private clients. That's amazing. You don't need to shoot for the stars. You certainly can, but you don't have to. Thinking about what's right for you. And I think that that is probably the most important thing about this. There is no right answer. This is whatever works for you. This is about you and what you want out of your life and your business. And I'm just here to guide you along through the steps. So this week, we're going to think about what our goals are. I'm going to encourage you to think about where do you want to see yourself in 1 year and then break that down into the 12 different months in the year. What is a focus for each month or something you need to get done each month? Or, in 6 months' time, I need to have a budget laid out, a floor plan, a decision about what the interior is going to look like, and some idea of what style I'm going to offer so that my second 6 months can focus on actually breaking down the schedule and finding my teachers and doing all the branding for that. Something like that so that you have tangible action items for each month that you're going to go through. I would also encourage you to think about 3 years from now, where do I see myself? Do I see myself owning a yoga studio? Because if that's not in your 3 year goals, why is it in your 1 year goal? So this is really based on the dream job creation, which we did last week. And so you're thinking about, you look at your dream job, and from there you're actually setting tangible goals. So if your dream job creation was a life where you travel often and you teach all over the world, perhaps owning a yoga studio doesn't really make sense unless it's, I want to own a yoga studio for 1 to 3 years. And then after that, I want to sell it and get out of that industry and start teaching. If you know all that, that's amazing. But some people don't know that. Most people don't know that. And so thinking about what goals you need to set in order to get yourself to that dream that you set up for yourself last week. So you can head on over to mbomyoga.com/yoga business bootcamp for more notes on this video, more info on the activities, and that sort of thing. I would also encourage you to go back and listen to the last 2 episodes. So the first one was on intention and introduction. So you get to meet me a little bit and just talk about how we're getting rid of the ickiness around the word business. And then the second episode was on dream job creation. And this one's so important. I think it's really hard to set your goals, which is what we're doing today, if you haven't outlined your dream jobs. So go ahead, go back, do that, and then we'll get started here.